Good morning, Coloritaville. This is Renee speaking here, and today we're going to review these wonderful Lyra Rembrandt Polycolor pencils. Now, as most of you know, my anniversary was on the 20th, and this is one of the gifts that I got for my anniversary. Switch over to this camera so you can get a full view of the packaging. When I looked at these online, this was not the cover of the box that I saw online. So I'm really hoping they've changed the graphics on the box. The box did get a little dented in shipping, so that there are a couple of pencils that got a little bit of damage, but not a whole bunch. These little nicks here, I think, are supposed to be in the box. But inside the box are these wonderful, wonderful, beautiful pencils. There's two Splendor pencils, which are blenders, and 72 lovely Polycolor Lyra Rembrandt pencils. And they're so pretty. And I was a little bit concerned when I first got this box, because when I got to this bottom layer here, let's see here, these two are empty. And I thought, oh dear, am I missing some pencils? So I went through and I counted, and I'm not missing any pencils. It's just where they have the blender pencils on the top. They don't have blender pencils on the bottom, but they use the same tray. Now, in order to pick up this tray in and out, they've put this little cardboard piece underneath this tray, so it makes it easier to lift it in and out with these little handles. The colors, like I said, when I got the package, it was, I wouldn't say poorly packaged for shipping, but it wasn't packaged very nicely. And as you can see on this pencil, I got some, let's see if I can switch you over and see if I can get a better, this pencil here got broken in shipping, so not very fun. Other than that one, I think the rest of them fared very well. I'll switch you back over here and show you up here. A lot of pencil rubbing is on the lid, so that tells me they got shook up pretty good. And on the lid, it gives you all of the information for the pencils. It gives you the color fastness, the color in all different languages, and that sort of thing. I am going to swatch these, and of course I am going to speed that up so that you're not sitting there for hours while I swatch these. And when we get back from the swatch, what I'll do is I'll go through the pencils. I will take a look closer at the swatch, as well as show you a little bit more about the pencils. All right, so we're going to swatch these now. So grab your cup of coffee and get ready. All right, I'll be back. Okay, well, I hope you all enjoyed that that swatching. It wasn't very long, so of course I sped that up for you. So it took me a little bit longer than it took you to watch it. So the pencils are quite nice. They're a good size. I'm going to switch you over to the other camera here so that you can see the writing on them. So they have a really good bold writing. They're made in Germany, and they have the color as well as a number on the pencils. And the numbers kind of make me think that there is a larger set out there than the 72s. And if there is, and you all know where that is, post me a link in the comment section. I know there's the 105 professional set, but that doesn't have just the polycolor pencils in it. It also has some drawing pencils in it. So it has both the German language as well as the English language on the pencil, as well as the color on the end here. And the colors on the end are pretty close to true to color. So that's really helpful if you don't swatch and you just are looking at the ends of the pencils. Now, like I said, they are 72 pencils. They are from Germany and they are light fast rated. So in the top here, let's see if I can get you a good view of that. So in the top, it has the different colors, like white, for example, has a light fast rating of 3. Cream has a light fast rating of 3. This lemon cadmium has a light fast rating of 1, and so forth. So all of that information is here in the lid. And as I said before, I've not seen this graphic on any of the ones I've seen on Amazon. My husband purchased them from Amazon, so I'm really hoping that Lyra has changed their graphic recently. Otherwise, I might have purchased, my husband might have purchased a knockoff counterfeit set. Now we're going to take a look at the swatching. Now, they were a little crumbly, like I said. They did get damaged in shipping. So some of the pencils that I didn't think were going to be a problem got a little crumbly while I was swatching them, as you probably saw. And of course, I didn't use my brush, so I've got little color bits everywhere. And this is why you use your brush, so that you don't get little color bits everywhere. They have a really good range of color. They've got some nice yellows into the oranges. They don't have, for my liking, enough oranges. There only seems to be 2, maybe 3 true orange colors, a light, a medium, and a dark. And then we go into the orangey red, and then we go into some of the reds into a pink, a dark pink. They don't have enough reds for my liking as well, but that's just me. I use a lot of red, a lot of orange. They have 3 different pinks, dark, medium, and light. And then they've got the dark, medium, light flesh tones. Now, these flesh tones look like they're going to work really well for flesh, so I will definitely try them on flesh. And then we go into the burgundy color, which they have as wine red. Now, this magenta color, most of the magentas I've seen are a little bit more red than purple, and this one is a little bit more purple than red. So, as well as the red violet. This is more of a dusty rose than a red violet to me. What other colors was I going to talk to you all about? I think that's pretty much it. And instead of an ocean green or an aqua green. They've got this as night green. So when you're looking for that type of color in the Lyras, it's called the night green. Same with there was another one too. I can't remember what it was now. Now they don't have any metallics in this set, so which isn't a big deal because they've got the gold ochre, which can be mixed with, say, ochre or light ochre in this set to make a gold color. You just mix it with like Van Dyke brown and that sort of thing. And for the silver, they've got a cool silver gray, but it's not a metallic silver, but it can be easily used to create silver. And those are our swatches. I think that was what I wanted to talk about on those. Like I said, the lighting during the swatch, because I do need to have my overhead light on while I'm doing the swatch, reflected off of some of the swatches. So it shows that they're a little bit waxy, but they don't seem to be. These are an oil-based pencil, so they're a little bit hard compared to, say, the Prismas. I even find them harder than Brute Funers. Brute Funers are a pretty hard pencil, and I find these a little bit harder than that. So we're going to go into our little joy here. Now, I'm going to shift you around here so I can open these pencils back up because I put them away because I'm silly. All right, so I think we're going to do this one in the Lyra. So let's put its name underneath. All right, so we've got a mushroom and some flowers. So we're going to need a nice yellow, a nice orange, and a nice red. Now let's grab our swatch here and decide what red would be best for that. Now I think the rose carmine would be best for that. So that is this one. Where is that one? This one. Now I haven't sharpened these yet because they did come with a really nice point. So I didn't have to sharpen them out of the box. And we're going to use a couple of purples for the flowers, just to get a variety here so that we're not using a whole bunch of the same family. So we've got some yellow, some orange, some red, some purples. Then we're going to get into the greens for the leaves. And I think moss green would be a good one. As soon as I find it. And light green. So there's moss green and then light green are two good ones for those leaves. Now, of course, they're very small pictures, so we don't need a lot of shadowing and whatnot, but we still do need a little bit. Oh, and I need this one as well. So this one is light cobalt blue, which we need for shadowing on the mushrooms. All right, so I'm going to start this by going over certain areas of the mushroom with the yellow so that we can give it some little areas of lighter color, because mushrooms are just that way. In my brain anyway. And I am never saying ever that my brain is right. So I'm going to color the little door on the mushroom yellow as well. And it doesn't take a lot of pressure for the lighter colors. I did find that the darker colors, when you color them light to dark, as I did on the swatch, I needed a little bit more pressure than I did on the light colors. So now we're going to go with our orange and do the same thing, and we're just going to go into some of that yellow with the orange. And of course this is a light orange because we are going to go over the whole thing with the red, which will make it into a darker orange there. Yeah, I was a little bit concerned doing the swatch because, like I said, it didn't take a lot to put down the color for the lighter colors, but it did for the darker colors, so we'll have to see how that goes. And of course, we're going to probably need that orange again, or actually we're going to need this one. This one is red violet. Nope, that red violet wasn't very red violet, was it? So we'll use this one, which is the wine red, for the underbelly of the mushroom and the shadow areas. Now, also for the shadow areas, we'll be using some blue on top of that, so that'll make that a little bit darker as well. I hope you all have had a good week. It is finally the end of it. I know this year has been going so terribly, and everybody just wants it over with. But we're never guaranteed from day to day on what it's going to be like. So even once we get into the new year, we may be in the same type of situation. So you're never guaranteed for anything. Now I'm just going to go over that area with that yellow again. Just underneath here, just to give it a brownie color. Okay. Now we're going to put that over there for now, and then we're going to take this red and we're going to... Now I think that with these ones, like I said, I've never used these before, so I cannot tell you exactly how to use them as of yet. From doing this swatch and from just doing this little area, I would suggest layering these quite a bit to get the color that you want. I know when I was doing the swatch, like the swatch on the coloring book paper, when I got down to the darker swatching areas where I wanted it to be dark, it took the tooth right out of the paper. So they are very, very hard. The color is really nice. It does go down quite well, but the pencil itself is a little bit harder than I'm used to. But that's not a bad thing. You know, working with something you're not used to is a learning curve, but it's not a bad thing. Now I've sharpened this and I didn't have any problem sharpening it. It went to a nice point and it's in there solid, so it's not falling out. So that's good. The damage was more on the tips than anywhere else, which makes me happy because I was a little bit worried about that. Now, as you can see, I'm just going over this a couple of times and it's bringing that red out better. And sometimes you have to go over it a few times depending upon how deep you want the color to be. And of course, you know, like I said, there's different things that you can do to blend it. I'm going to try the blending pencil that they have provided. I've never used a Lyra blending pencil, so I don't know how well they work. But we're going to give it a try today, so we will find out, won't we? Okay, so we're almost done this cute little mushroom. And let me know if my hand's in, well, I guess you can't let me know if my hand's in your way. Hopefully my hand isn't in your way. I keep on trying to reposition everything on my desk so that I can do this easier without getting in your guys' way and still be able to show you what I'm doing. Sometimes it doesn't work so well, and sometimes it does. I'm just going over it one more time just to give it that color that we want. And we're going to go down around the little window and down the sides here. Now I'm going to actually color this in with this red, but I'm also going to go over it with the yellow just to make it a little bit more orange, just to give it that contrast to the cap. So I'm just going to grab that yellow again, and we're just going to gently go over it just a little bit in certain areas just to give it a bit of that different in color. There we go. Okay, I missed a spot. Now, same thing with this one. We're just going to go over it with the red. I'm going to give it a couple of different layers. It's not seeming to have a lot of white spot, which is a good thing as well. This is on cardstock. So on 65-pound cardstock, these are doing a lot better than they seem to have done on the coloring book paper. But like I said, I was going very soft and very hard. So right now I'm layering, so it's a little bit different than doing, and I'm just doing a medium pressure and putting down multiple layers in the same area. Now I'm going to grab that yellow again and just give it a little touch of brightness here. Okay. Now we're going to do our lovely trick that I was taught. Where is that with this one? Just by watching other people's videos, I was taught in order to give shadows and that sort of thing on a mushroom, blue works really well, and it does. But it has to be a fairly dark blue. Now, of course, everything I have learned, I have picked up and fit to my own way of doing things from different videos. So if you do things differently, by all means, do things differently. You don't have to do things the way I do. I don't ask you to. I don't think that anybody should do them exactly the same way. That's what makes us people, gives us personality, and gives our work, our artwork, the personality that we want it to have. And like I said, everybody colors differently. I took the techniques that they were showing me and I fit them to what I was doing. You know, it's not exactly the same as anybody else's. All right, almost done here. And I like to go around these little circles just so that it gives them a little bit of a shadow because they're a little bit raised in my mind. And every mushroom that I've ever seen this way or in the real world, not like you see too many mushrooms in the real world with a doorway and a window and that sort of thing, but everyone that I've seen with the white spots on it, the white spots are raised a bit. Okay, so we're going to stick that over here because I moved everything around so I can't tell where it is. Now I'm also going to need a little bit of gray. So I'm going to use these two. I'm going to use the medium gray and the silver gray for the little chimney. Chimney. I have no idea how people say it. I've always said it chimney, and I have been informed my entire life you will not be the only ones that ever say that is not the way that is said. I have had teachers tell me, I have had parents tell me, I have had spouses tell me, and I still to this day call it a chimney. So I don't know why. My brain said, nope, that's a chimney. It's a chimney, but yeah, I do know that it's said a different way. My brain won't allow me to say it that way. All right, so now we're going to take our light purple and we're just going to give these little flowers here some purple. And this is light violet. I call it light purple, but in actuality, it's called light violet. And then we're just going to go into that and give it a little bit of darkness, just to give it a little bit of life there. A little bit of contrast is a good thing. Draws the eye. And a little bit down here. See, if I had just left them as little purple flowers, they would look flat, and they're not flat. Well, I don't want them to look flat anyway. All right, now we've got the greens to do, and we're almost done here. That didn't take long at all. So I'm just going to take the darker green color, and I'm just going to give the leaves a little bit of definition and go down the stalks of these flowers. And of course, you can do this afterwards, after you do the light color. I do it beforehand so that the light color enhances it. If I find that the light color washes it out too much, then I'll go back over it with the darker color. And another thing that I did find doing the swatch with these pencils is that the lighter colors seem to be brighter. They seem to have more oomph in their coloring. So they seem to have a little bit more. I'm not sure if it's because there's more wax, or I'm not sure what their pigment ratio is, but they seem to be a little bit easier to get to a bright color than the dark colors, the dark pencils. All right, now just for the windows here. I'm going to use the purples. And it's probably not the best color combination, but it'll do. And then we'll use this brighter blue here just to make it visible that it's a window. All right, now we're going to take our blending pencil that they provided. And like I said, I've never used one of these before, so I can't guarantee the outcome. They seem pretty good. It seems to rub those colors right together. That's really nice. Ooh, I think I have found a new favorite blending pencil. I've always used the Derwent's for, I think this works a little bit better. That's really cool. And I have a train going by, and it has decided that it's going to blow its whistle all the way through. So if it's a little loud, I apologize. Some of the train drivers, I don't know why they do it, will blow the whistle all the way past the house, and then some won't blow it at all. It's very odd. And it doesn't seem to be picking up the color. It just seems to be moving it, which is really cool. Because even the Prisma blender picks up the color. Okay, so there's our cute little picture there for the Lyra. I think they did very, very well. I do like the way the blender pencil works for sure. And like I said, on this cardstock, they laid down a whole lot better than they did on the coloring book paper of the swatch sheet. Now, I think that's just because I was doing a light and a heavy swatch. If you layer these, I think you'll do very well with them. The shaking is just because the train's going by. It's a heavy train today, so it's not your eyes and it's not the camera. It's just a shaking of my desk. It's okay. With that being said, I am very, very happy that my husband bought me these for our anniversary. And I have a few other things that I'm going to be swatching and reviewing that he also bought me. And I'm going to at some point be doing some other videos. I've got a couple of surprises going on, and I can't wait to show y'all. With that, I thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you found this informative and that you enjoyed it. If you do want to join us over on our Facebook page, of course, that is the Cozy Coloring Corner at Coloritaville, and we would be absolutely ecstatic to have you there with us. The only thing that we do ask is that you fill out the application form in full, because that application form does is mandatory. We do not accept anybody that does not fill out the application form, and that's to protect our current residents in Kelleritaville. Other than that, like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell. Make sure that you are informed whenever we've posted a video or whenever we're going live. We do try to make sure that we give at least half an hour to an hour's advance notice if we go live. Join me on Saturday for our Saturday coloring, Saturday color along. That is every Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. So if it's 10 o'clock my time, it may be 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock your time. So just make sure that you look that up. Or ring the bell and you'll get a notification. Other than that, thank you. Continue to color, relax, and always, always stay safe. Bye-bye for now.